Please join me in giving a warm welcome to the handsome Dr. Tim.
Thank you. Natin malalaman, English na lang. How do we know that we have heart disease? We have to do all these tests. No? So, kailangan gumawa tayo ng mga examination. So, yung iba, nalalaman na lang nila, may sakit sila sa puso, darating sila sa ER, heart attack na. Huli na. Kasi, pag nalaman natin na may sakit ka sa puso nang hindi ka pa nag-heart attack, ma-prevent natin ang problema. Pero pag dumating ka na may heart attack ka, pwede ka nang mamatay. Life-saving na yon. Mas madali gamutin ng pasyente nang hindi pa nag-heart attack. Sabi nga ng presidente natin kanina, it's easier to prevent than to cure. So if we find somebody who has heart disease, maganda, maayos na siya bago magkaroon ng heart attack. Pag nasa kalagitnaan na ng heart attack, mas mahirap na. Another example is, kunyari, may outlet dito. May nakalabas na electrical wire. Then, kung sinsay siya, so ano mas madali? Ayusin natin ngayon o antayin natin magkasunog? Ayusin na, di ba? So, pag may problema ka, ayusin na natin before magka-heart attack. Kasi pag nagkita sa iya at nagka-heart attack ka na, mas mahirap na trabaho ko. Diligtas kita kasi papunta ka na doon sa sementeryo, hihilahin kita pabalik. Mas mahirap yun, di ba? So, Lena, si Kwatyo kong pilang kun ka lang tateo, ano gagawin natin? Paano natin mako-confirm? Sabi mo, ang stress test, 60% accurate lang. Ang stress echo, 95% lang. Anong 100%? Kotan, sige lang, angiogram. Yacho lang, pinaki angiogram. Say, oh boy, angiogram mo. Ibet song siya, ibet sa media kia, ayoko nun. Ano papasok po? Gano'ng kahaba? Ano? So, walang iyak niya. Pero, kung nasa panganib ang buhay mo, paano kita matutulungan kung hindi ko mako-confirm kung may problema ka? I need a confirmatory test before I can treat you. I need to know, high risk ka ba for death? Low risk ka ba? So, the angiogram helps us. Ang angiogram ginagawa usually through the wrist. No? Hindi tulad ng dati. Huwag ka uhe, ongke pat angiogram. Lalo na 1990s, early 2000s, angiogram, long chong tui kai pike. Through the groin. Sa singit ang pasok ng angiogram dati. Ngayon, usually sa kamay na. Pag sa kamay ang pasok, actually pwede siyang outpatient. So magsasabi, Dok, paano ka maabot sa puso galing sa kamay? Parang ang layo. Sa singit, paano ka aabot sa puso? Tapos, gagawa kayo ng angiogram sa right side. Di ba, ang puso nasa left side? Paano kayo darating doon? Pero actually, all of the blood in the body comes from the heart. Di ba? Kung papasok ako sa water pipe ng banyo dito, ang ultimate nun, may nilad. Kasi doon nang gagaling eh. So we can actually get to the heart even if we go through the wrist. We just follow it under x-ray. Okay, now if we go through the wrist, we can get to the heart. Once we are at the level of the heart, hahanapin namin yung pinaka-opening ng heart arteries. No? Once we find the opening of the heart arteries, we put our catheter or our tube there. No? A catheter basically is, kaya yung catheterization is for using long tubes. No? Tubes that are very thin, very flexible, but very controllable. Pag pasok na namin dun sa ugat ng puso, mag-i-inject kami ng dye. Habang dumadalo yung dye dun sa ugat, kukunan natin ng sine. Movie talaga siya, moving picture siya. You can take it at 15 frames per second or 30 frames per second, depending on ano kinakailangan nyo, para malinaw na malinaw. And dun, we take it in multiple views. Bakit? Ang tubo, bilog. Iniisip natin kung magkakabara ang tubo, 360 degrees ang bara. Pero yung iba, yung bara, flat. So kung flat ang bara, titignan mo rito, parang hindi siya bara, pero pag tinignan mo side view, barado pala siya. So we cannot look at the angiogram only in one view. Lahat ng ugat sa puso, we take multiple views. So we have to take multiple views to confirm. As I mentioned a while ago, 100% accurate siya. And a lot of people think it's dangerous, pero sa 1,000 pasyenteng ina-angiogram, wala pang isang nangyayari. Mathematically speaking, it's 99.9% safe. So, kung ikaw may baradong ugat at hindi ka magpapa-angiogram, yung chance ng heart attack mo is usually around 50% in 2 years. Kasi per month siya eh. Napag-aralan na yun. Pag ang ugat mo barado, kahit umiinom ka na ng gamot, ang chance ng heart attack mo is 2% per month. Parang maliit lang, 0.5% per week lang naman. Pero over 2 years, 2% per month, di ba? 24 months. 24 times 2 is 48%. 50% chance of heart attack ka na. Versus 0.1% risk of finding out kung nasa panganib ka. Kaya, the American Heart Association, the American College of Cardiology, the European Society of Cardiology, even our own Philippine Heart Association, if there is evidence you have significant artery blockage, it is recommended to have an angiogram. Not only is it 100% accurate, it's 99% safe, and the information that your doctor can get can help treat you and prevent a heart attack. And as I mentioned a while ago, kung sa kamay na tayo dadaan, we can do it on an outpatient basis. Even angioplasty nowadays at Chinese Gen, 85% of my angioplasty is also outpatient. Now, may mga bagay na kailangan namin i-check. So, walang pitong angiogram, gunekyo, ikigyam, huitse. Blood test muna tayo. Bakit? We're going to insert something inside the body. There's always a small chance of bleeding. So, hindi naman pwedeng anemic. There's a small chance of infection. So, we have to check, may infection na ba ang pasyente o wala? Kasi pag may infection, hindi natin magagawa. We check kidney function. Kasi then, so we're giving dye. The dye has to come out through the kidneys. We need to make sure that the kidneys are normal, right? And then we need to make sure wala siyang bleeding problem. We have to check clotting time. No? So it's measured in prothrombin time or PT and thromboplastin time or PTT. We need to make sure na pagtanggal natin lahat ng gamit, yung butas na iniwan natin, magsasara siya. Kasi kung may bleeding problem ang pasyente, baka di tumigil yung pagdugo. So we have to check those before we can do the angiogram. And as long as those are all okay, the risk of an angiogram is very low. Sample pictures na nakikita namin sa angiogram, you can see that on your left, there are actually two arteries. Meron sa taas, meron sa baba. Those are the two left-sided arteries. And you can see the two left-sided arteries arise from one big artery. The big artery is the left, and then anterior descending, or kung nakapagpa-angiogram na kayo, maririnig nyo, LAD is left anterior descending, or LCX is left circumflex. No? So LAD, left anterior. Anterior is the word for front. Descending is the word for going down. So the one that goes down the front of the heart is the left anterior descending. Circumflex is circumnavigating the left side. No? So left circumflex is the one that goes to the left. So the left circumflex and the left anterior descending come from one artery. But the right is only one artery. And the right, you can see on your right, is shaped like a big letter C with two tails. So that's the typical appearance of your arteries. And these arteries in this particular patient are normal. Wala kang makikitang bara. Right? So paano malaman may bara? Siguro naman kitang-kita niyo sa araw, naging mas makipot yung daanan. Numipis, di ba? Yung column ng itim, malawak siya. Yung itim, yun yung dye. So, pag yung ugat mo, malawak din yung dye. Pagka kumipot yung ugat, magiging manipis din yung dye. Tapos, pag naging normal ulit yung artery, magiging malawak siya ulit. So you can see where the arrow is pointing, the passageway of dye becomes very narrow. So this is a narrowing in the left anterior descending artery. This is a narrowing in the right coronary artery. The right coronary artery, sabi natin kanina, parang isang malaking letter C. Sa gitna ng letter C, makikita nyo, naging manipis siya. Right? So, what do we do when we find blockages? There are three ways to treat artery blockages. One is with medicine, the other is angioplasty, and stenting, and the other is with bypass surgery. So, sinong bagay sa gamot? Sinong bagay sa angioplasty, sinong bagay sa bypass surgery. Kung yung blockage natin less than 70%, gamot yan. So, at home angiogram, hui kuntat, go sa percent, gamot yan. So, ang tanong, anong level ng blockage bago nagiging risky for heart attack? Actually, law of physics yan eh. Sabi ko kanina, di ba, tubero ako? No. Kung merong water pipe, kinalawang ng 10%, pagpunta mo sa banyo, binuksan mo yung gripo, sa tingin nyo, normal ba dali ng tubig o hindi? Normal pa, 10% lang, di ba? Kung 20%, pwede pa. 30%, pwede pa. Oh. May premyo ba to? Sino magdo-donate ng prize? Pag 50%, actually, at 50%, by law of physics, you will not know. You will not know. Why? Because before the blockage, there's build-up of water pressure. The build-up of pressure is enough to push water through so that when you open the faucet, you don't know that there's a 50% blockage. So the question is, at what point does a tube carrying a liquid with blockage will compromise flow? The answer is 70%. So, kung dumating na ng 70% yung blockage sa ugat mo, kulang na sa dugo yung puso mo. You are already at risk. So, anything less than 70%, gamot yan. And as long as we can keep the blockage less than 70% with the medicine, hindi na siya magkakaroon ng heart attack. Diba? Now, kung meron kang blockage na more than 70% pero nasa maliit lang na ugat, nasa sanga lang, a branch, that only supplies a very, very small area of your heart. Let's say it only supplies 5% of your heart. Even if that artery all of a sudden blocks, you will not die. So, nakita niyo yung mga itsura ng arteries kanina, di ba? Balikan natin yung iba. Kunyari, itong nandito sa left side, para siyang punong nakabaliktad. It starts with the bigger trunk and then it develops branches and becomes smaller and smaller. So, imagine natin may puno lumabas dito sa harap natin. Naputol yung isang sanga doon sa taas. Ano mangyayari sa puno? Wala. Pero pag pinuto ko yung puno sa main trunk, patay buong puno. Right? So if you have a 70%, 80%, 90% blockage in a small branch, we don't do anything. Medicine pa rin yan. So the only time that we need to do more is when the blockage is more than 70% in a large artery. Okay? So, paano ginagamot? Alam natin na pagka may blockage, pwede magkaroon ng blood clot. Kasi yung daloy ng dugo doon, mas mabagal. Ang dugo, pag hindi gumagalaw, namumuo. Right? So ngayon, inside all of our bodies, blood is constantly flowing. It's not really clotting. But if I cut myself, and a small drop of blood falls on the table, in 5 minutes it's clotted. So, blood that does not move can clot. And if you have an area of blockage and the movement of blood there is slower, you can form a clot in the blockage. And if you form a clot on top of that blockage, the flow of blood will become blocked and you'll have a heart attack. Which is why blood thinners is a mainstay of treatment. And napag-aralan na to, if you give something like aspirin or clopidogrel, a lot of you know it as Plavix, to people who have blockages, the chance of developing a stroke and the chance of developing a heart attack is lessened by almost 50%. So kung ang chance ng heart attack mo dati 50%, ngayon 25% na lang. Just by taking a blood thinner. Right? And then, kung ang blockage mo ngayon 50% pa lang at hindi mo gusto maging 70%, lahat ng pwedeng mag-cause ng pag-worsen ng blockage, gagamutin mo. We already mentioned them a while ago, and it's just as a review, because people sit in front of me and I tell them the information, but they ask the question again. Minsan hindi nagsisink in. Paano ko iiwasan yung paglala ng blockage ko? We have to control all of the things that causes blockage. Babalik tayo sa basic: blood pressure, sugar, cholesterol, bad cholesterol, mababang good cholesterol, triglycerides, smoking, family history. So, some of these things, wala tayong magagawa. Kung ako, pamilya ko, mataas ang heart attack, hindi ako pwede palit ng pamilya. Or kahit magpalit ako ng pamilya, dala ko pa rin yung lahi ko, di ba? So, we cannot outrun our genes. We cannot change our gender. Before menopause, men are more likely to have heart attacks and strokes than women. But women cannot also avoid menopause. Pareho na tayo. Age, we also cannot change. We're all growing older, so all those are problems. And smoking is a big factor. So we usually have to check serially. So kung nakita natin ngayon na meron kang 50% blockage, next year we will perform some type of test, either a stress test, Some people want CT angiogram, CT angiogram. But we will only do another angiogram if there is evidence na nag-progress siya. No? Without any evidence, we will not do anything. So, angioplasty or stenting and bypass, usually ginagawa natin yun pagka more than 70% ng blockage. The blockage has to be in the big artery. Sinabi natin kanina, if it's in a small artery, we will not do anything. So we will do something if it's a big artery. And some people kasi may heart attack na dati. Kung nagka-heart attack na sila dati, that portion of the heart na nagkaroon ng heart attack, unfortunately, is permanently damaged. So kahit i-angioplasty natin yung ugat nun, at maging normal yung daloy ng dugo, hindi na siya mabubuhay uli. So kailangan na yung angioplasty na ginagawa natin, na yung bypass na ginagawa natin, makakatulong sa pasyente. We need to make sure that that area is not only viable, but salvageable. No? And then of course, dapat yung pasyente, good quality of life. Kung yung pasyente na-stroke 10 years ago, bedridden for 10 years, tapos nakita natin may evidence ng blockage, yung pasyente na yun, sasabihin sa akin, Tim, patayin mo lang ako. Hindi na sulit ang buhay ko, tapos bubuhayin ko pa siya sa angioplasty. Parang it doesn't make sense, no? And then some people have stage 4 cancer or terminal illnesses. May mga may AIDS, HIV, baka hindi na sulit.
Responder, pag may heart attack ba siya, may golden hour ba tayong...
Yeah, so that's a very important question. No? So, ang tanong is, pag nag-heart attack na yung pasyente, how much time do we really have? No? So in the US, a hospital and the response team is graded. May grade sila. They have minimum performance levels that they need to meet. From the time that the patient gets in touch with healthcare personnel to the time that the emergency angioplasty is done, it has to be 90 minutes or less.
30 minutes?
They call that door to balloon time or D2B.
Oh.
So from the moment the patient hits the door to the moment na binubuksan ko na yung artery, dapat 90 minutes. And here locally, we are starting to grade hospitals that way. If your door-to-balloon time is more than 90 minutes, hindi dapat gumagawa ng angioplasty for heart attack. And you know, health
Yes.
now has 500-some thousand pesos set aside for any patient that has a heart attack that has angioplasty. Because the world, one recommendation for a heart attack is angioplasty as soon as possible. So kami, as an interventional cardiologist, para kami si Dr. Aydin C. kanina, on call kami 24/7. Pag may dumating na heart attack ng 3 a.m., dapat bago mag 4:30 na angioplasty ko na siya, 90 minutes. So, that's the recommended. Bakit? Ang heart attack parang sunog. Nasusunog yung cell ng puso. Pag may sunog ka sa bahay, pero within 1 minute, napatay mo na yung sunog, yung bahay mo nakatayo pa. Pero pag nasunog siya ng 90, wala nang natira. So the earlier that we can do angioplasty, the better. Ang problema, may mga pasyente sasabihin, lang yata ito eh. Punta ka ng hospital. Hindi, acid lang to, ano lang, malox lang to. Mamaya, 30 minutes na, 1 hour na. 2 hours, di pa rin siya mapakalit. Saka siya pupunta. Medyo konti na lang yung time namin. Tapos, kung hindi kayo ang tatawagin, sasakay sila sa kotse, traffic pa. So, minsan, 1 oras pa. Darating sa amin, 3 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours na. Magmabadali na kami. Minsan, sunog na yung bahay bago dumating sa bumbero. Mahirap na.
Thank you, Doc.
So, regarding po, nabanggit po ni Dr. D, regarding heart attack. So, I am a health advocate, media po ako, radio broadcaster. So, my expertise is PhilHealth. Now, kung sino sa inyo na heart attack, meron akong good news sa inyo. Kapag kayo na heart attack, kailangan you have to go to the hospital ASAP because dati-dati, ang angioplasty, sagot ng PhilHealth is only 32,000. But now, ang sagot ng PhilHealth is 524,000.
Pero
Kaya
hindi
lang,
linawan ko lang,
kailangan ma-atake ka muna.
Yun. Pag pumasok ka ng walang attack, 30,000 lang.
Pag Pag pupunta kayo kay Dr. D, may parado ko, I need na ma-angioplasty. Atake, 32,000. So, kailangan ninyo,
mas mga magana at saka kababayaran.
so tandaan ninyo yan ha, kapag kayo na heart attack, takbo na kagad. Kasi, why? Kapag lumampas kayo ng 1 month,
Yes, so
pagka lumampas kayo ng 1 month, yung 524,000 mo, mawawala. Kasi may certain period of time.
dalawang pinag-uusapan kasi natin dito na panahon. Yung tinatanong ng emergency response personnel natin is, gaano katagal bago wala ng kwenta yung angioplasty?
Yes.
So we only have a few hours. No? Yung patient na hindi nagpa-angioplasty within a few hours, baka hindi niya siya tumagal ng 1 month.
Oh.
No? So we don't want them to wait 1 month. We want them to have it done as soon as possible. But for whatever reason, kung medyo naging stable siya at nabigyan siya ng panahon, kasi may mga patient tayo nasa province eh.
Oo.
Wala namang angiogram sa province.
Oo.
Bibigyan muna sila ng yung malakas na pampatunaw ng blood clot. They call that a lytic therapy. They can get that. Matunaw muna ng konti yung blood clot. Pupunta sila dito sa Manila. Minsan 1 week or 2 weeks bago sila makarating. So PhilHealth allows them to be transferred within 1 month. So kung nag-heart attack ka ng September 1, basta hindi pa pumatak yung September 30 or October 1, 500 plus thousand na sa'yo
Yes.
pa. Pag umabot ka ng October, wala na.
Wala na. And then, another good news. Kapag kayo na-atake, tapos in-angiogram kayo ni Dr. D, tapos nakita talaga barado na puso nyo. So, hindi kayo papasa sa angioplasty na 524,000. Pero, pag sinabi ni Dr. D, you need to undergo bypass. Dati-rate, ang sagot ng PhilHealth is 660,000. Now, 960,000 bypass. Yan ang sagot ng PhilHealth ngayon.
Free na ang bypass.
I mean, kapag nandun na kayo, huwag ninyong problemahin na kasi the reason why, meron kasi inatake, ayaw nila pumunta sa number 1, financial problem. So kaya sinishare ko sa inyo, kapag inatake, takbo na. Kasi meron PhilHealth. Ngayon, another question. Paano, Hilda, kapag wala akong contribution, no problem. As long citizen, covered, even wala kang contribution, sasagutin ng PhilHealth. Okay?
Bad news lang yun sa misis ko. Emergency ka na naman. Hindi ka naman ganun ka-busy dati. Kaya kasi ngayon, lahat pwede na i-angioplasty. Dati kasi, may mga dumarating sa ER, sasabihin namin, ang gastos mo, 500,000. Ay, wala kaming pera. Matera lang sila. Pero ngayon, lahat ng dumarating na may heart attack, tatawagin na ako. Hindi na ako hihindi, di ba?
Oh.
So, mas madala na
For
ako.
sure.
Sasabihin ng misis ko, saan ka pupunta? Hindi ko punta
For
sa
sure,
hospital.
marami na ma-heart attack. Kung sakali, wag naman. Marami na tatakbo sa'yo kasi may PhilHealth na.
Ay, sasagutin natin sila. Tutulungan
Yes.
natin sila as much as possible. Yeah.
Yes.
Dr. Timothy D. for raising the October Health guest speaker on the topic of angiogram, angioplasty, and bypass. Thank you for being a vital part of our discussion health future. Again, a round of applause to Dr. Timothy D.